Okay.
We're all good.
Hello, everybody. I think we're getting numbers coming in now. So we're almost up to kind of what it should be. So we'll just give everyone a couple of minutes just to get kind of signed in and comfortable, and then we'll get going as normal. So looking forward to this.
Yeah. It's a slightly less glamorous assistant tonight than usual, but
Yeah.
but you have to make do it.
And we don't have technical John either, so if I disappear and run round behind, that's why. But it looks like the numbers are kind of coming up anyway, guys. So welcome to our very first Malt Room virtual tasting, or virtual gin tasting, I should say. Slightly different. We've obviously been doing some whiskey and donut ones, and there's been a demand for some gin ones, so here we are. So a little bit of an introduction for those who have not done one of these before. My name's Matt. I'm the owner here at the Malt Room. So obviously our primary focus here is whiskey, but we like to try and look after kind of any drink we serve here, and gin's sort of one of the kind of most popular, or definitely our second most popular drink after whiskey here. So we do get asked a lot, and we do try and learn a lot, and we know there's a big demand out there for it. By no means are we experts on it, but thankfully we have one with us. So let me introduce you guys to Neil. Neil's a very good friend of mine. And yeah, I'll let him kind of tell you his kind of path into the industry and kind of what he does, and yeah, just I'll let you chat away.
So no, thanks very much for having me, Matt.
No bother. Yeah, no bother.
I think the second tasting I've done in here. The other one had a slightly bigger crowd inside.
Real people.
Real people
here. Yeah.
It was a different time. You won't understand. But yeah, it sounded like a hen do, I think, that night from memory. So
I think it was my mum and all her school pals, who actually I think is probably about a good chunk of the audience tonight as well. Actually, so. Oh well.
Yeah. So no, I mean, it's a real pleasure to do the tasting at that point. And again, it really is a pleasure to be back. It's always a bar I've got a lot of love for, and it's been a great addition to the Inverness bar scene and food and drink scene and what have you over the last few years. So yeah, I say that with all genuineness there. So I mean, a wee introduction for myself. I work with the Orkney Distillery over in Orkney. If the name didn't give it away for you there. How did I get into gin? I've been in the food and drink industry for more years than I'll admit, to not give away my age, which isn't very young anymore. I suppose my gin journey really kind of kicked off working at the Storehouse out by Edmonton. I'd always been keen on gin anyway, and it was a spirit that I would go to in the sort of bar environment before that. But that really kind of helped me transform my own sort of knowledge and my own passion and kind of drive on. I was at the Storehouse at a really interesting time. Lots of sort of off licenses and places were closing down in the Highlands. We could sort of see a gap in the market kind of opening up before our eyes. So we actually switched up our gin collection that we had in our little shop out there, from 2 or 3 gins to, I remember talking to my bosses at the time and going, we try and get 20 gins in. I was like, whoa, that's 20, that's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Went up and carried on building and building. At one point we were operating with over 200 gins on the shelf there.
I remember coming out there, it's like a pick and mix of gins.
Yeah.
It was great.
You know, really specialist, and you know, we were getting products in that nobody else had in the country at the time. So trying to keep ahead of the game always during that time. And from there, started doing gin tastings, private gin tastings, corporate events, and kind of going around, having a lot of fun with gin. About 2-3 years ago, ended up working with Orkney Distillery, moving on from the Storehouse. Dunnet Bay make Rock Rose gin, which if you've not tried, you'll get a wee taster of at some point tonight. But yeah, now found myself with the lovely folks in Orkney at the Kirkyvar brand. So that's kind of my
history of gin.
Yeah,
for you,
that's my CV.
Great. Nice. So hopefully all you guys have got your packs. We've not had any kind of follow-up saying no one's got theirs, so that's hopefully everything's in them. Hopefully you guys are impressed with them. We've kind of put a lot of time and effort into them and tried to put lots of little different bits and bobs in for you. So I think what we'll do is we've tried to like number them as well, but I think we'll try and make drinks as we go and kind of we make them and you can make them at home as well. I think that's probably the safest way. I mean, feel free to make a cocktail if you want. I'll probably make one at the end of just a mixture of stuff, but yeah, I think we'll maybe crack on with the first one. So
yeah,
first thing is little Calpol bottle number 1. So grab that, and this is where we need our champagne flute. So I'll let Neil kind of talk you through what is in here.
So we're starting with the Boutique Company, or the Boutique Gin Company, if you want to give them the proper name. Their spit roast pineapple gin. So just to give you a wee zoom in there. Very funky branding, very cool, very kind of modern kind of labelling always.
Yeah.
Boutique gin, or boutique whiskey, and what have you. Been about for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
3, 4, probably.
Yeah, I don't actually know when they started, but yeah.
I know I can remember selling boutique whiskey at the storehouse, so that's going back about 4 or 5 years. So it must be about that time scale. But some really cool liquids in amongst their collection. This being no exception. This is one of the standouts.
Yeah.
What you've actually got in the wee Calpol bottle is about 23 ml of the actual gin. You then got a little bit of lemon juice and a wee bit of sugar syrup. So we're going to use that as the base and then top up with a little bit of fizz.
So shot it in one.
Shot it in one if you really want.
So yeah, grab your wee bottle of fizz. You do the honours.
So it's a bit of a take, I suppose a modern take on a French 75. French 75 you normally use champagne in theory.
Thank you.
I've left you a little bit there. Perfect. It's just quite a nice drink to start your evening with. One of these drinks that you almost don't realise you're drinking.
Yeah.
That can be a wee bit dangerous. I appreciate. I've seen many casualties at many weddings and what have you.
Cheers.
But cheers.
Yeah.
All the best to folks out there.
We played around with this actually last night when we were doing this, and it was amazing. We did 23 ml of this, and then put some freshly squeezed lemon juice and a bit of sugar syrup in there. Are we garnishing this with pineapple, or are we using that for later on?
Yeah,
cool.
Gonna go with a wee bit of pineapple.
And yeah, we put a full shot of that in with prosecco, and it was almost quite sickly sweet. So if you are finding it a little bit too sweet, just keep adding a bit of prosecco. Like we think that's the right balance for. Obviously, you guys have all got different glasses at home. And honestly, I hated it when it was 25. I thought it was rubbish. And then we found that right balance. And for me, what you're looking for is just that kind of fizzy prosecco lightness, and then on the aftertaste, you get that kind of soft hint of pineapple. Yeah. If it's just pineapple overload, add a bit more prosecco.
It's great because it's just got that slightly tropical kind of after hit to it.
Yeah. Without
being totally in your face. You'd think with how, I mean, if you can see how. It's almost syrupy, kind of gloopy kind of texture to the liquid with this one. I mean, the guys at Boutique take a whole actual pineapple and put it on a spit roast covered in demerara sugar. You know, that's where the distillation actually comes from. It's
you can even see like grains of sugar like stuck to the bottle, so it is super sweet.
And it's one for me. I will say, don't judge a drink by its first. Its first taste, really, and by that I mean, with my first sip of that, I'm always like, oof, and then the second sip is actually just so pleasant and so, you know, and yet you actually get into it then, and
the first time I tried it, I didn't really get the pineapple, and then, as I say, as we got that right balance, you get that lovely kind of finish of pineapple. I think we designed this drink last week when the weather was great, and we thought this will be a lovely drink to start everyone off.
We'll be sitting out in the gazebos, watching the sun come over Loch Ness.
It was a fizzy drink, great. What a way to start.
Got the sandbags out.
Yeah. Oh,
No, really sort of interesting gin, and a good introduction to sort of flavoured gins as a category. A lot of flavoured gins can be a bit false and a bit kind of sickly sweet and kind of almost done for the sake of doing something.
So what would you class this as? This is a...
I'd put it in the very
Flavoured
much
gin.
in the flavoured gin category, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Still getting plenty of orange and cinnamon, so there's enough real flavour in there. You can still get a little bit of juniper. I mean, gin by definition needs juniper. You can still get a little bit of juniper coming through, but it's harder to detect when there's so many flavours going on. But
Hi lads, great gin, Rob Beaton. Ooh, lovely Nicky Marr. Cool. So yeah, it looks like you guys are enjoying it, which is good. Nice.
So just a nice way to start the evening.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to kind of same as the sort of whiskey tastings as well. Even more so tonight actually, because we've got maybe 6 sort of different drinks that are potentially quite long drinks. Feel free, you don't need to finish them right now. We're going to kind of go through the drinks maybe at quite a quick pace because we've got 6 and we don't want to have you here to 1 in the morning. Well, maybe you do want to be here at 1 in the morning. But we'll kind of
The chat may go downhill by then, to be fair. I think we've got about 20 minutes in us, Matt.
Yeah. So yeah, feel free to leave them and we'll move on, talk about them. But as I say, feel free to add some comments. We can see them coming through on the Facebook feed on the right hand side. So if you've got any questions for myself or Neil or anything about the drinks, we'll try and answer them as we go. But I think I'm going to put this to the side and just keep sipping away at it and maybe take a look at drink number 2.
Yeah. So, we're talking about their flavoured gins as a sort of category, if you like. You got a bottle opener?
I was just thinking that. I was like, we have prepared everything, and I'm like, I don't have a bottle opener.
Just use your teeth. So we had flavoured gin there as the first sort of category to show, if you like. The next category we're going to cover is London Dry category. So London Dry, it's a terminology you'll have probably seen written on countless bottles. I mean, the best way I would describe it as being what we all think of now as modern day gin. Really, certainly my generation, I would say that's how we would read it. London Dry doesn't need to be made in London, doesn't need to be made in England.
Yeah.
It is very much a style of gin. It's more based around the sort of rules of it, if you like. So it's got to be 37.5% ABV or above, from memory. No artificial colourings. Nothing added after distillation. So quite a traditional.
Just kind of the right rules and regulations of it, isn't it?
Yeah. So like I say, it doesn't need to be made in London. So what we've done here is we've got a drink or gin from the very far north, one of the most northern outposts in the UK. So from the Orkney Distillery, Kirkvar. It's a Kirkvar gin.
Weird name.
Weird name.
Yeah. What is it? What's the crack with it?
With that long,
name.
that long Swedish sounding name.
Kirkjavarg.
Kirkjavar. Kirkjavar is essentially Old Norse Scots. Means Kirk in the Bay. Literally translates that way. It's essentially Kirkwall's old name before they actually made maps and misunderstood how it was being translated, and so that's where the sort of Kirkjavar name comes from for the brand. So it's made in Kirkjavar is actually made in the heart of Kirkwall. If you're coming off the boat, we're pretty much the first thing you'll see as our wee distillery and a very nice bar, coffee shop, etc.
Yeah.
So
I went past actually when I was up in Orkney, went to Highland Park, and I didn't really know what to expect from Orkney actually. I hadn't been. Oh, sorry,
I'm just gonna steal.
And it's super modern, really cool. Like
It's an amazing place.
yeah. Really cool. It's just one of those places that's kind of off my radar a wee bit.
Yeah.
Always wanted to go, but never. It's kind of that thing you don't travel Scotland.
Yeah.
And then
There's so many people.
wow.
So many people say this about Orkney, is that it's a place they've always wanted to visit and just never got round to. But yeah, cracking place, really, really nice people, very industrious people, very very sort of creative, very arty, just really impressive.
So yeah, we'll talk you through how we kind of make this. One thing in the bar for me is loads of ice with gin. We get asked all the time, "Oh, don't put too much ice in my drink. It's going to just dilute my drink." And it's just, the customer's always right, but in that case they're wrong. Because if you think about what's happening in your drink, if you have a couple of cubes of ice and you're in kind of a warm bar, what will happen is that ice will warm up quite quickly and then start to melt. And you're kind of at the end of the night of a gin and you're kind of slowing down and you just get this watery gin. And it's just, it's not very nice. So loads of ice in a glass actually keeps that temperature nice and cold. And actually means less dilution. So more ice, less dilution. So I think Neil's put in number 2 there. We've got Cushy Doos tonic and then a dehydrated orange. Cheers.
Cheers. So hopefully a very classic tasting sort of gin and tonic for you there. London dry, as I say, so quite traditional. For me, you get a lot of the sort of calamondin comes through, which are a wee fruit that we grow in Orkney.
What's it kind of like?
If you look it up, it's almost like a wee very, very small berry kind of orange style. So I would give it. I would tend to normally do it with a bit of freshly sort of peeled orange peel. That was the international sign language for orange peel, if you didn't get that. But obviously delivering fresh orange peel is a bit of a
soggy envelope.
A bit of a challenge. So we've done a wee bit of dehydrated orange over that one. So
and tonic wise?
Tonic, we have gone with Cushy Doos with this one. So
one thing for me in the bar is that with the gin trend going, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, I think people really care about what's in their glass a bit more, which I think is a really good thing. Like if you think 10 years ago, a gin and tonic was ice in a slice, Gordon's and Schweppes tonic, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a nice drink, but I think now, from what I see, is that customers aren't just caring about the spirit, but they're really caring about the tonic as well. Probably even more so, actually, in some cases. Like a lot of people will have a random gin, but they want to have the tonic that they really like. And we actually stocked this tonic, Cushy Doos, because of you, actually. You kind of introduced us to it, and I kind of take Neil's word on gin, and then I pass it on to customers like it was my idea. Oh yeah, no, this tonic is this is the reason I chose it for here, but actually it comes from Neil. So yeah, feel free to tell us about Cushy Doos.
I mean, it's a great little product, the Cushy Doos. So really nice guy, Andrew, through in Edinburgh, who makes this stuff. Something I'm a wee bit older than Matt. We're maybe a year apart or so. But I had a harder paper round, obviously. Something going back, in the olden days of bartending, if you like, was you'd get a lot of people just saying they just couldn't take tonic. That was a really common kind of recurring theme in the bar world. This is a product that's really kind of knocked that a wee bit. What most people don't like about tonic is actually the quinine. So the quinine, essentially the bark you get from a fever tree, that sort of bitter kind of taste that tonic brings you. So that's kind of what a lot of people are put off by. I mean, a lot of people go through their lives going, "Oh, I don't like gin." It's actually just the tonic they've not liked.
Bitter taste in tonic.
And actually the spirit, if you get it in the right scenario for you, is something you'll really enjoy. So Andrew's created this product called Cushy Doos. About 2 years on the market now. I think it's just over 2 years. And quinine free. Actually very good, not very good for you, but it's essentially the same sugar as a light tonic. So just very light, easygoing. Kind of lets the gin do the talking. I've come accustomed to it that it's kind of now my go-to tonic. I would say more than Fever Tree, more than Franklin's, etc. Franklin's. It's probably the one I sort of naturally go to pair with. So
I think for me anyway, you don't like sometimes. I've never really been a huge gin drinker. I definitely find myself drinking more gin now. If I'm out, I'll normally have a couple of beers and then go into the drams. If you see me on the gins, it's normally a pretty bad sign because what it normally means is in my drunk head I've gone, I can't drink any more pints, I've had too many drams, I need something to hydrate myself. I'll drink some gin, there's tonic in there and I'll feel better for it. But yeah, no, for me, as I say, that normally that bitterness is the first thing I associate with gin and tonic. But with that, it's as you say, the gin is actually really, you can taste the gin.
Through,
yeah, totally. Yeah. It doesn't have that like
aye,
kind of. That's what I do when I have a gin. Taste everything. Hope people do that at home as well. Like my first sip of gin and tonic. But I hope you know what I mean by that. Maybe I'm going to get drunk again. I probably am. Yeah.
There's no donuts in the way.
No donuts in the way, just drinks. I know. And I'm saying don't finish them, and I'm going to finish this.
It's a turbo G&T.
Totally, yeah. Hell, that is Prosecco and booze, isn't it?
Why you say Prosecco like it's not real booze? That's just a morning drink.
Stop the shaking. Yeah.
Just a wee Prosecco and some cornflakes. Ease myself into the day. It's a continental way.
Yeah, the weather's been great. Passes lockdown. I mean, nothing else for it. Let's see what people are saying about this. 2 is very nice, very smooth. Loving the Kirka bar. Nice like the tonic. Super smooth. Yeah, so that, do you know what I find? That's a good point. The smoothness. It's not as, I don't think it's as carbonated.
Yeah.
As like
it's funny.
Lemonade or other tonics.
As much as I've got a lot of time for Fever Tree as a company. You know, they've changed the category. You know, of tonic. They really have. It's been a game changer of a product, and fair play to them. But I don't know. The more and more I've drunk it, the more and more I've kind of, it's almost too much for me. It's almost sort of hiding the goodness of gin for me.
There's a lot of sugar in Fever Tree,
yeah. And I think we kind of forget that because it's a very well branded product. It's very well spoken about, and you know, I don't mean to sound like I'm having a dig at them, certainly. But just I've become so accustomed to drinking that sort of lighter style. In fairness, the light Fever Tree that they do is a very nice product, you know, and again, just the less sugar actually lets you taste the gin. Yeah. So always a good sort of way to go, I would say. So
I think that's probably why a lot of people do love Fever Tree, and to be totally honest, that's probably why I started liking gin and tonics, is because I would never, not in any way, because I didn't want to drink Gordon's and tonic, but like as the gin market kind of exploded, you know, you kind of naturally just try it, or your friends are trying it, and I definitely did try like a gin with Fever Tree and thought, oh well, maybe I do like gin, but I think it's because the sugar in it takes away from that bitterness that of the quinine. But we'll get to Fever Tree. We are using Fever Tree. I'm not slamming them in any way.
It's not an anti.
It's not like me slamming Macallan in the whiskey world, and you know, no.
And now you're doing a gin tasting.
I know, right? Yeah,
just hates them. Surprised it's in on the shelves.
Yeah.
Surprised they let it on the shelves.
I know.
If you've not watched the whiskey ones, he does seem to
I just
inadvertently go on a rant.
Ask me in 4 gins time. I'm being political right now. Okay, guys, where are we? Gin number 3, I think. So
gin number 3.
Oh,
back to a cocktail.
Yeah.
So, I'll let you pour and then we're splitting this.
Yeah.
So what we've done at home for you is we have done a bottle about half the size of this, or half filled if you like. There will be in some of them there will be little bits of lemon sediment, but don't worry about that. It's part of it.
Just give it a good shake before you open it.
So what we're doing with this, we've made a. If you'd be a bit quieter with the ice.
Sorry.
So there we go. So we've created a wee drink here. We've done the base of the drink, which, like I say, is about half the size of this. We've just doubled up on our one because we had the last bottle of it here. So in the base of what we've done is gin and actually tea, which we've cooled down. So essentially iced tea. And then what we're going to do to that is we're going to actually add it to, we're going to pop it into a glass full of ice, and we're going to pop some soda water in to top up.
Sure, we
so
bottle of soda, the wee Fentimans one. Do you know what we forgot before we open this drink?
What's that?
The prize.
Competition time.
Prize, yeah. So we've got a few prizes along the way.
There's a gin tasting that just keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Very good like that.
So let's have a wee look here.
What we're doing first, we're going to do fish.
No, the first one's a tour.
Okay, yeah.
So
that'd be good to do with the Kirkvar.
Yeah, that was what we thought was going to happen, wasn't it?
We've definitely not had drinks before this.
Yeah.
Very professional.
Very professional.
Yeah.
So Jamie and Anne-Marie at the Red Shank have put in little business cards in your bags. Love the Red Shank. I don't know.
Red Shank is amazing.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Genuinely better than most restaurant standard food from a van. It's amazing. You might have seen it at festivals, or they've been doing quite a lot now during lockdown. They also do like a new fish and collect service. We bought some monkfish from them one night and made like a monkfish curry. Their scallops are great. Just generally anything.
It's amazing stuff.
It's very good.
I actually I was lucky enough to work with Jamie. So Jamie was our head chef. I mentioned before that I was at the storehouse. I was at the storehouse during a time where we had doors in as well. So I actually worked with Jamie as Jamie was our head chef at the Doors Inn for a wee while. Just as talented as a chef as I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
He's right up there, and knows his fish, knows his other dishes as well. But
I've only ever seen him really in the Red Shank, but he's kind of like a man juggling about 9 dishes at once. You're like, I don't really want to order right now. He looks like he's got a lot on, and he's just, everything comes out perfect. So he's fair play, very very good. So they've been very kind and donated the prize later on, which we'll get to that one as well.
Yes, I would come back to that. Yeah,
but I think the first one is number 2, which is the Kirkvar.
So yeah, a few competitions running tonight with the wee business cards. So we just put numbers on the cards, and it is essentially a wee draw. We've done a really professional last minute
Ripped up an envelope,
brown envelope with all your numbers on it. So whoever's number matches this one wins. Our first prize being a tour for 2 at the Orkney Distillery. So it gives you a good excuse to come across to Orkney. So we are going to go with, keep my eyes away from it, we are going with number 10.
There we go.
So number 10, if they want to send in a wee picture just of the card, or just
the card, or
let us
just
know.
Contact. I mean, we sent an email out today with some instructions, so maybe just drop me an email. It's matt@themaltroom.co.uk. Maybe just send a photo of it or something in the email, and we'll arrange the prize to get to you. So back to drink number 3, I think.
Yeah, back to drink number 3.
So take another drink before it. There's me saying don't finish drinks. I'm enjoying these. Normally with whiskey I take little sips and I'm chatting, but I think with long drinks I just feel like I'm more on a night out.
I know.
Because whiskey I feel like I overthink it because I'm just being so geeky about it. Whereas this actually just I'm enjoying the drinks.
Fun.
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah. So half an each. Or
half of each.
Full
one for you guys at home. So like I say, this is the base. You've got, what have we got? About 25ml of a really nice Italian gin. I say a really nice Italian gin. It's a bit of an acquired taste. So if you like things that are edging into herbaceous or is it on the nose? I mean, if you're into, I'm quite weird. I'm into like Italian spirits and things. If you like a wee Amaro,
Trapano sort of thing.
Yeah, very close to an Amaro. It's actually a yellow coloured gin as well. This is the from the Professor range. I'm going to put it right up to the. This is the Crocodile edition of their gin. So this comes from a bar in Rome, essentially, called the Jerry Thomas Project. So I first saw this gin about 5 years ago. I was drinking in a bar called the Gin Corner. Really cracking little bar, one of the best bars I've ever been in my life. Bless you. Really cracking little bar in Rome, called the Gin Corner.
Yeah.
Obviously focuses on gin. Myself and my friend, I think we were over there watching football, and we spent sort of 2 nights in this place, and kind of racked up a bill of like, 250, 300 euros. Just in the gins. As a thank you, they gave us the tonics for free, which were like €10 a go.
Wow. Yeah,
So
great.
so I don't think they expect us to stay all night and kind of drink them dry. On the second time, it was the same barman both times. Just really quiet, and we were there kind of on non-weekend nights, so it's quite quiet. We're just chatting away a lot about different things. And
Yeah.
on the second night, the guy actually gave us this code to get into this bar. And this bar is called the Jerry Thomas Project. So Jerry Thomas Project is regularly in the top 50 bars in the world. It's kind of really well thought of. One of the top bars in the planet, really, essentially. So I'm just seeing somebody saying yes. That's we've drawn the number there. I wouldn't say what she said in front of the yes, but
It's after Sean.
she's happy.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, you've got to get a password to get into the Jerry Thomas Project. It's a really cracking little speakeasy based in sort of American kind of prohibition kind of bars. This guy said he could probably get us in, and we actually said, no, we're quite happy here. We're quite happy drinking away and just chatting about gins. And I kind of looking back, I kind of regret it now. Because it's I think it is still quite a tricky bar to get into. It's worth looking up actually. Just there's some really funny reviews about how it's overly hipster and it's a bit wanky for its own good and all that. But
speaking of being overly wanky and weird, so have some of your homegrown basil. So I didn't talk you through that, but your wee soda, throw it in, and to garnish, basil that I've grown in my kitchen. There's a bit of a garden in my kitchen just now. Peppers, basil, everything, and so there's fresh basil. But I don't know how it's done in the envelope. Our one here is not great. I'm hoping we gave as the worst ones, but I'm hoping it's some of the best basil you've had.
It's maybe not something that holds up well in transit.
No, nothing to do with the grower. I mean, it's some of the finest organic basil you've probably ever seen, I'd say.
This is another cocktail we've done. So this is called a Tom Collins cocktail. Do we know why it's called a Tom Collins?
Good question. So we actually have it on our menu. We have you seen Tom Collins is the name of the cocktail, and I always start telling the story and get it wrong, so you can maybe try and help me if you do. But basically, if Neil came into the bar, I would say that there's this guy called Tom Collins, saying a lot of bad things about Neil, that he's been going to restaurants, not paying his tab, and running away from bars. And I think he's over at, down the road at the other pub there just now. So Neil storms out of there and walks into the bar, and the first thing he says is, have you seen Tom Collins?
Where's Tom Collins?
Where's Tom Collins? And
actually,
bartenders know that that's actually a drink that they make. So as soon as that person says that in the bar, as soon as they walk in, they've already ordered a drink. So that's them. So, oh, there's your Tom Collins. What's Tom Collins? And you're like, well, you've ordered a drink. That's your drink.
It's a sour drink.
It's a sour drink
for your sour face.
Yeah, exactly. There's loads of lemon in it, and you're being upset. It was just a joke.
If you're bored and fancy it, Google the Tom Collins 1875 hoax. Kind of it's meant to have originated in New York, Philly, and that's kind of the backstory to it. It's basically you actually going around and being tricked into ordering a drink, and the cocktail has kind of evolved from there.
Now, so classic Tom Collins is sort of sugar, lemon, and gin topped up with soda. Whereas this is slightly different. This is the one with tea, right?
This is made with tea.
Yeah, it's made with tea.
So we've got very generously actually donated by a really nice company called Tea and the Gang. Tea and the Gang make just cracking herbal teas, mint teas, etc. All sorts of fruit teas. I originally actually found found them. It sounds like they're lost. I first came across them about probably 4 or 5 years ago at the London Coffee Festival. That makes me sound a bit of a douche, doesn't it? The way
A wee bit.
I go to London Coffee Festival all the time, you know.
Yeah.
If I'm not in the Malt Room, find me at London Coffee Festival, and then Milan Fashion Week.
Yeah.
That's what I do. No, I found them at London Coffee Festival, which is a really cool festival, to be fair, for the trade. Yeah, looking at different coffee products and different accessories, anything and everything under about 5 roofs. At a really smart festival.
But the tea's great. I think there's a bag in there.
Yeah, so there's a wee complimentary bag for you for afterwards, so you can actually try the tea by itself without gin in it, because normal people just have tea on its own and don't feel the need to put gin in it. So, but
why not?
Us being us.
Yeah, why not?
When in Rome.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
See what I did there?
I did. The connection to Italy.
There you
Rome.
go.
Very smart.
There you go. It's a scene.
We said we wouldn't get into puns too
I
soon.
know.
The viewers are going to drop off the face of the earth.
Has it gone down to zero?
Yeah.
Sound issues.
Yeah. But no, do you know, I've tried the tea, and if you guys try the tea, this is actually nicely balanced. Like that gin as well is, as you say, is quite. It's a bit mental, and that is a nice. I actually didn't like that on its own.
Yeah.
But with that, it's nice, and the basil's super fresh.
It's a tricky one. Like I say, if you get a chance to try this gin in a bar, there's nowhere up here that really does it. The guys along the road at Woodwinners actually have it. They stock this. If you ask them really nicely, maybe they'll open a bottle by mistake.
Yeah,
Let you have a wee sample.
Maybe.
Yeah. But it's a really interesting product.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of these gins that I would say it's not for everybody. There's some gins out there that are completely easy pleasers that you know everybody's going to kind of, it's not going to be offensive, but this one is a bit more.
So what style of gin would you call that? So we've had. First one was.
The first one was a flavoured.
Second was London Dry.
Second was a London Dry. I see. This isn't a category. This is me.
Okay. Yeah.
My own way upwards.
Yeah.
I refer to this as a new world sort of gin. Okay. I appreciate that's a wine terminology. A
gin drinker's gin, maybe.
Yeah, it's by new. So when I say something I kind of say this in my head. To be fair, when I'm describing a new world gin, it's more from countries that you don't expect gin necessarily from.
Yeah.
They're doing something a little bit different, and like I say, these guys do 3 different gins. The Professor range, the other 2 being fairly sweet actually as a contrast, but like I say, this is more on the herby kind of side of things. But yeah, so hopefully we're.
So there we go. So yeah, John Ross, love Italy, but that's my least favourite so far. There we go. So yeah, it definitely splits opinion, which I think is why we chucked it in there. Some people, it's kind of like smoky whiskey, I guess. Some people love it. Some people hate it.
Totally.
So.
And that's always the fun thing about tastings, I think, though, that you get to rule out things that you wouldn't like, but do you know what? You've not spent 45 quid in a bottle of this, so it's not a bad, it's quite a good way of ruling out.
I'd probably just buy it because it's got a crocodile in it. I'm really bad for that. Like anything that's like got nice packaging or good art on it, I just buy.
Well, that was what grabbed me, was the fact that, so this gin was behind the bar. It was in the gin corner. This was one of the very few gins that I didn't recognise. There was plenty that I hadn't tried quite by that stage, but this was one that I'd not seen, and it wasn't in the UK at the time. So I asked the guy about it, and that's where we led on to Jerry Thomas and all that. I think it's just it's one that's different and a really interesting.
Yeah, so hopefully someone likes it. Some of you guys like it. Some of you don't. Yeah, that's the whole point.
And do try the tea by itself, as I say later on. Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning. So drink 4. I think we are. Back to our Calpo little bottles, guys. Number 4 for you. I'll get the ice while we're not talking.
Good man. So, drink number 4. We're going to stay on the European theme here. So we're going
Sorry.
Should have done the ice before.
I see what you did there. Very nice.
Hey.
Okay,
So, drink number 4, we have for you Knut Hansen. So, oh, hang on.
Oh.
I'm going to outglass you here.
Oh.
Sorry.
Look at this.
It's the kind of guy I am. I bring my own glasses to bars.
This is off script. Look at this.
So, Knut Hansen. A very, very cool bottle, as you can see. Very typical of that area of Germany, of the north of Germany. There's a gin from Hamburg. Historically, they'll use the old stone bottles in that part of Germany. That's a wee note to their heritage there.
So just before we go too deep into it, let's quickly get the drink lined up. So you got your Calpol, grab your Fever Tree, and garnish-wise, we are cucumber. So dehydrated cucumber, the wee little green round things that look like dehydrated cucumbers, funnily enough.
Oh yeah.
There, and then gin, and we'll split this tonic.
I'm going to say if anyone's the gins that we've left just as purely as gin, I think we've done 3 just as gin. Do feel free to try them on their own if that's the way you like tasting gin. I'm saying that because this is a very, very smooth, kind of easy drinking gin, very soft, very subtle. Yeah.
There's me saying don't finish gins. And I've finished 2 out of 3 so far.
So the Knut we've paired with what Fever Tree?
Fever Tree.
Regular Fever Tree.
Yep.
I'm using. So this was a wee gift from Martin, who is one of the founders of Knut Hansen. So if you can see there, a very cool little. I'm trying to get the lighting right. Very cool little glass.
Is this around the front? Is it?
That is not. That is Knut Hansen, the sailor,
Oh.
the famed sailor. So
From Germany.
from I think Norway.
Norway.
I think so.
Nice. So glassware is one of those things that you're chatting about your glass there. Like I like a tall, thin glass like this, but
I like a ceramic glass.
you like a ceramic glass, of course you do. But yeah,
Danke, Martin.
I think the key thing is just whatever glass you like. I know there's a lot of those sort of gin goblets going around and stuff, and
it's probably in my day-to-day working life. It's one of the questions I get asked the most is about glassware.
yeah,
a lot of bartenders ask me about glassware and what we should be doing. Like you say, the goblets. So the goblets are a big thing in the UK now. Become very on trend. UK sort of gin trends will tend to follow Spanish gin trends. So what's big in Spain just now essentially hits our shores however longer later, and then it filters through the rest of the country. So in sort of gin bars in Valencia, Madrid, Barcelona, etc., they've been using these goblets and cutting massive bits of ice, big bits of fruit, kind of big garnishes. Been doing that for years and years. And I'm often asked, what's right for our bar? What should we be doing?
Yeah.
There's no right and wrong. Like most things in this industry, there is no right and wrong. It's down to personal tastes, personal what works for you, what you prefer.
yeah.
I appreciate the goblets are a big thing now. For me, there's a really key sort of an obvious kind of difference between the Spanish. There's lots of differences between the Spanish market and our market, but the massive one is in terms of sort of laws and things like that. In the UK, we're very much governed by using measures and pouring gin into a measure. You order a gin and tonic in a bar in Valencia, the guy will sit and talk to you for 5 minutes while he's pouring the gin. So if you've got a goblet, it's great because it's going up about halfway. So you've got about, by the time he's finished pouring, it's about 75ml of gin. You've then got a little bit of tonic going into that. So you're getting all the flavours coming out of this glass that's been designed brilliantly to show it off. If you're putting a wee 25ml measure of gin in that and then drowning it in 200ml of tonic, it's kind of not.
It's not the same, is it?
Yeah, you're kind of defeating the purpose of what it was. I kind of tend to do anything I'm doing in a goblet. I'd always do minimum 50ml. I think It's
That's a good point.
certainly the minimum requirement. Just like I say, there's no right or wrong. It's, but it's
No,
something
good
that
point.
comes up.
No, I think we use sort of classic sort of highball style glasses here. As you say, just I think they work well with the amount of ice and tonic and stuff. But that gin is great. That's probably my favourite so far. Super fresh. I don't know if that's the cucumber or that's the gin, but it is fresh.
So just a really easy, fresh is the word. Citrus forward. There is, if you try the gin by itself, you'll get little herby notes coming in. From memory, 14 botanicals, I think, in Knut. They grow their own basil, they grow their own cucumber. It's just a nice
I think
sort of gin.
I'd never actually heard of this before Neil had kind of brought it into the tasting. I think it was one of Neil's trips to Germany that found it, and I was a little bit skeptical. I guess just in the whiskey world, I'm used to sort of things having an age on them and value for money and stuff, but it's not a cheap gin. I think this is about
to buy from home, you'd be about 40 quid for the bottle, and it's a 500 ml.
It's a 500 ml bottle, so it's premium gin, but it's annoyingly good actually. And I was kind of hoping not to like that, and kind of think, oh, it's not that good. Is expensive gin much better?
It is. It's fantastic product.
Yeah, I do like it.
It is it's impressive.
I don't know why I'm annoyed at that, because in the whiskey world, when people get, I'm like, is it better when it's... There's loads of factors, isn't there? But and obviously that's just to my taste. Like I like that fresh kind of citrusy kind of thing going on there. Or maybe it's Fever Tree. maybe it's not the gin.
Do you know what?
And maybe it's the Fever Tree.
Do it with the Edinburgh tonic later on, and it's it is brilliant. But the German gin market is a really interesting market in itself. I go across there fairly regularly with sort of work and going and watching football and different things. They're kind of pushing the boundaries always with the sort of botanicals that they're using and different flavours, different kind of finishes to gin. That it's. I'm saying that in Scotland we've got an amazing collection of gin. Genuinely, in the north of Scotland in particular, we're really lucky. We've got a lot of local brands that are.
I think that's why we don't actually stock any. We stock Nika from Japan, but just because I have a soft spot for Japan, I think. But we don't stock any international gins. Our gantry space is quite limited, so we try and support sort of small local distilleries. And I think the product's great, which is the right way to do it. The right way to do it as well. But I think to have like a guest gin, like something like this, for people like yourself or you guys who obviously really like gin, to be able to come in and be like, well, actually, what's your special gin this month? And to have stuff like this is great. But Fever Tree, stupidly, I didn't know this. I can't believe I didn't know that. But the name of Fever Tree. So the story with tonic, I think most people know the quinine was. People used to take quinine to help fight off malaria, and the quinine comes from. It's called the fever tree. Yeah. There is a technical name from it. It's from the bark of a fever tree.
Quinoa. Yeah,
and basically guys used to mix that with water, some floral elements, and some sugar, and that was effectively the world's first tonic. Yeah. And then to take the edge of the bitterness away, they throw in gin. And that's where the name Fever Tree comes from. I just thought it was a good name, and I was looking into it the other day. It's like, why is it called Fever Tree? And it's because it's where quinine comes from. So there you go. You guys all probably knew that, being gin fans, but that was news to me. So it might be news to you. You never know.
Any questions? Or
I don't know. It looks like there's lots of personal conversations going on here. Annoyingly good. That's my godmother, Jackie. I think Jack looks like he's drunk. He's putting lots of kisses and hugs and stuff. I'm not really sure.
Fair play.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to join him too. So no judgment here. Yeah.
What do you want to do? We want to do competition, or
let's see. Well, there's a few birthdays actually. There we go. So my auntie Gillian, it's her birthday on Tuesday. I know she's got her. She was the last one today. I was scrambling. I gave myself a timeline of 6 o'clock. I don't know why I did that. And got there just in time. So happy birthday to my auntie Gillian. And also my kind of good pal Adam McMaster as well. It's his birthday today. And he hates gin, so he will be cringing at me toasting a gin to him. So Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alan. I do keep on trying to talk to him about gin and any nights that I'm out with him. And
It's not entertaining it. He just can't have it. And his mum and family love it. They have a gin cabinet. They have everything, and he just will not entertain it. So yeah, cheers again. Cool. Okay, so let's move on to drink 5 as well.
Drink 5.
So we are again going to the wee Calpol test tubes.
So
get some ice again before I make too much noise.
You want to do competition just now?
Yeah. Let's do that while I do the ice.
So I'm going to draw out a number for. This number is going to win you a £20 voucher for Fish and Collect. So
Sorry.
So £20 voucher to Fish and Collect to.
What have we got there?
Can you read my writing? Number 8.
Number 8. Cool.
There we go.
I should be writing these down, eh? People just email me saying they won prizes and they haven't. So the first one was the tour, and that was number 10.
Yep.
We'll go with that. Second one was Fish and Collect, number 8.
Number 8.
Cool. And then we may
congratulations.
have some more. Well done, number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fish and Collect just quickly is. We mentioned earlier on the guys from Redshank. They actually, almost by mistake, I don't think Jamie will mind me saying that, sort of fell into this. Where on the first day of lockdown they had a load of fish, and sort of said, "What do we do with this? Because we can't really open." So did it as a delivery service where you could vacuum pack all the fish that you'd actually bought in for service, and they sold out in sort of an hour or two.
Yeah.
And brilliant, and it was like you say, absolutely fantastic.
We did it one night,
We did
actually, a couple of weeks into lockdown, and or whenever it happened, it's quite early on, and obviously working in hospitality, I don't get to cook very much. I kind of eat on the go quite often, and really enjoy sort of cooking when I have the time. So we had some time on our hands, and we got some monkfish from Jamie, and it was brilliant. We had a monkfish curry, and genuinely very, very good. Big fans of what they do, and that voucher. Yeah, I wish I could put a number in there. For that. It's a bit annoying, but it'd be a bit of a fix that, I think. Okay, so what are we, number 5?
Number 5. So yeah.
And then we are going with lemonade. Is that right?
Yeah. So we've put lemonade in for this one. I should say as well, if there's any mixers here that you don't fancy the look of, or you don't like Fever Tree, or you don't like Fentimans, or whatever it may be, mix it up yourselves. Don't feel that it's you're breaking a rule. It's, we want you to enjoy it. If you'd rather this with tonic, do it with tonic. But this is Bela, so again from Orkney. Really interesting little gin.
Yeah, we kind of get asked for pink gin all the time over the bar, and I'm a little bit. We don't stock any pink gin here, none. It's maybe me being a bit snobby with drinks. You might want to call it that, whatever you want.
Such a snob.
Maybe, but to be honest, I really don't care. I won't have crap drinks here. So if it's popular and people will keep asking for it, I'd actually rather say no. I know that's been really stubborn, but I don't want people in here drinking.
Is this McCallum again, you mean?
Well, maybe. I just don't want people having pink gins and tonics and Smirnoff Ices and Wickeds and stuff. And and that's, and again, it sounds a bit bad, but that's because people drink those drinks mainly just because they want to get drunk, or they drink them because they're super sugary, and that's fine. What I want to have here is people. We have no TVs, we have no Wi-Fi. We want people actually talking and interacting, and drink is a brilliant conversation to have. So, you see it often here, what are you having or what are you drinking and this, and people who actually care what's in their glass rather than just getting absolutely smashed. That can happen as well, but we'll try and pretend we're being educating ourselves and drinking good things. So let's try a pink gin then. Yeah, go on then. Yeah, I'm twisting my arm.
Change your mind.
Yeah, change my mind. It's in front of me, so yeah, go for it.
Well, so here we've got Bela. Now, Bela looks like this. If I can get it in the lighting properly. Jeez, oh. There we go. So, Kirkyvar Bela from Orkney again.
Oh, garnish. Sorry, garnish.
Garnish. We're going to garnish with a wee bit of lemon. So very subtly pink, if you can see on the side there. Just now, I call this a pink gin, but a pink gin with an asterisk, and quite a big asterisk. Pink gin, in my mind, is a wee bit like Matt's sort of rant just now. In my mind, pink gin for me, in my head, I think of essentially almost like a vodka with food colouring.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many gins, unfortunately, in the market that they're so far away from juniper that, you know, it's almost like a cheek to call them gin. But on the flip side of that, I look at it and go, well, do you know what? It's getting people into the gin market that have never been in the gin market. Mm-hmm. So it's bringing people into the industry that I need people to come into. So I can't be too up on it. From there, then it's all about education. You know, it's. I was talking to a friend yesterday about tequila. You know, and you know, he'd done a tour of sort of Mexico, and you know, trying proper sipping tequila. You know, the real, you know, good quality product.
You never start there, though, do you?
Yeah, exactly. It's almost a wee bit of that. It's you need somebody to talk to you about it and
say, why are you drinking that? What do you like about that?
There's actually something good here, and we can go from that to this. So we don't want to sound like we're
on our high horse about it. But, totally. I, you know, you are right. Like, we do bash it and stuff, but some people,
for me,
I think it's just because we drink a lot, probably, and it's probably very true. And you get experience of different spirits and things. A lot of people maybe don't drink that often, and it's their sort of safe bet, and they like to have that because it's sweet, and that is fine. Don't get me wrong.
Like I say, I say this is a pink gin, but it's a pink gin with a big asterisk because
it smells great.
If you get the nose in it, you've got loads and loads of honey coming forward. The pinkness in this gin actually comes from raspberries, so we use Scottish raspberries. The honey comes from Orkney. So Bela by name. So Bela was actually the Norse god of the bees, so that's why we call it Bela. We want to show off, like, Arcadian honey is like some of the best honey in the world, because the bees don't leave Orkney. They've not got all the same diseases that you've got all around the UK for bees. So the bees are really, really healthy, close to the sort of European black bee, for anyone that's into their bees.
Thanks for. I got that reference. I now know what they're like. Thank you.
So you can imagine what kind of bee it is.
I was confused till then.
There we go. So European black bee, the German black bee, as they're called. So very, very healthy bees make amazing honey. It is like stunning.
It is.
So that goes into the gin. We've actually, we've created an absolutely brilliant product for me. Lemonade sort of sweetens it right up. I actually quite like it with soda, because soda kind of cuts through it almost. Would be the wording.
It is the best pink gin I've ever tried, without doubt. But it's too sweet for my palate. But you can tell it's a different level from, you know, like 37.5% Gordon's. That's just, I mean, we were chatting about that earlier. They just make that the lowest strength possible to save on tax, and then just punt it out, full of flavourings and colouring, and it's just not. It's not a good product. It really isn't. And I've no.
This is your Macallan moment.
Well, it's just, I really don't care about telling people how I think about drinks, and I just don't think it's good. And and as I say, if people want to drink that, that's totally fine. I have no issue with you drinking it, but I'll tell you why I don't think you should be drinking that, and you should be supporting things like that. One is it's just better made and it's tastier. But people don't know about it. That's the thing. It's not in Tesco.
The same bees that give us our honey actually pollinate probably 9 of our botanicals. So
nice.
Yeah, it's got a good little backstory to it. And,
nice.
Cracking little product. So
now, we have another prize here.
We do have another prize here. So 3rd of 4 prizes in the night. I'll let you draw out a number.
No problem.
So the winner of this one is going to get a Bela candle, worth about £16. Again, lighting. There we go.
Nice. Can I smell it?
Amazing little candle.
Great.
Made in Orkney, and just cracking little product.
It's got one of those fancy wood wicks, just to let people know, just to get the excitement building. And let crackle when you light them. That's
It's
good.
a good little prize, to be fair.
Yeah, totally.
And it is going to.
Let's have a wee look.
It's like a Champions League draw.
It is like a Champions League draw. Yeah. What have we got here? Oh, hang on. We've had that one, I think. So that person's already won one, so we'll change that. Sorry. I think one prize per person is probably fair.
Yep.
Let's see. There we go. There we go. Number 29. There we go.
Number 29.
So, well done,
play
29. We'll
to St
play.
Johnson.
So let's see. There's a puddle here where my ice bucket is. Who's won that? Let's see if anyone's going to comment. Maybe they don't.
People reached a point.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So candle was at 29. Let's see. We'll leave it there. Cool. Okay. So what are we going to do now? We've got a guest. So let's. Yeah. I think we are gonna. I can see Martin below there. So Martin from Rockrose is going to join us. So excuse me 1 second. I'm going to jump around and get him into the chat.
Yeah. And this one actually brings us on to another gin category, I suppose. Navy strength gin or high strength gin, 100 proof gin, whatever you want to call it as a category. But Martin should be joining us any second. And there we go.
Hello, evening, gents.
There we are.
Actually, let's do that one. That one's probably better.
You got rid of me.
There we go. That's better. Go between them all.
I don't mind being gotten rid of.
I don't know if we can hear Martin yet, can we?
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, we can't hear him.
Okay, 2 seconds. This is where John is worth his weight in gold.
This is it. This is where we try and figure out the audio. So unmute mic. Can you hear us, Martin?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can't hear you. No. Let's try and remove an ad again and see if we can get him back in.
Can you get my headphones?
Do you know what it was? My fault completely. My laptop I had the sound off my laptop. Totally my fault.
Alright, okay. Just get my headphones.
I was like, this has never happened before. Okay, there we go. Great. Sorry about that.
Hello, Martin.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Yeah, normally the person doing this hasn't had 5 drinks, Martin. I apologise.
It's all of our first days. Yeah. So let's welcome Martin to our chat.
Sorry, that was the most unsmooth entrance I think we've ever had. Totally my fault. So yeah, I'll let Martin introduce himself. But basically, first of all, thanks for coming on. We both know Martin from Rockrose. But yeah, Martin and his wife Claire basically started Rockrose. So yeah, maybe just tell the guys a little bit about how you started Rockrose, what gave you the idea, and yeah, just have a wee chat, I guess.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's been good fun. Yeah, I started done it with Distiller 6 years ago, and it was really an exit strategy from the oil and gas industry. I wanted to move forward with Claire, and I wanted to basically get into the drinks industry. I'd been a home brewer since university, and couldn't resist the lure of coming back to it. So we built a small distillery, and the kind of exit plan was to leave oil and gas after 3 years. And then, we just at the right time. We got into gin just as it was taking off, and it went on leaps and bounds. Rockrose was really to create a gin from our local area with local botanicals, from the forest, from the cliffs, and it took about 8 experiments. We got there, and still the gin that we drink today. The idea was to create our perfect gin, and yeah, that's what it is. And it's just taken off. It's exported to 21 countries now, and it's great. I think the guy was saying there's a bit of echo, so I'm going to try and grab some headphones and see if I can get rid of the echo.
Yeah, perfect. It is a wee bit echoey actually, so
Yeah.
yeah, if you could grab headphones, that'd be great. And what we'll do while Martin's doing that, we'll maybe move on to drink number 6, which features Rock Rose. So that is this guy here. So I think we've got one between us. We very generously had one left and thought we'd make sure everyone paying for tickets gets one and we'd share one. Very noble, I'd say, Neil.
We're just nice people like that.
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean, what we've done here is essentially, and Martin's just come back, but
Sorry.
what we've done here is Dunnet Bay Garden cocktail.
Sorry.
If you want. So, Dunnet Bay Garden, what we've done is 30ml of Rock Rose Navy Strength. We've done about 80ml of apple juice from the Black Ale, and we've done a wee bit of freshly squeezed lemon juice, about 5 to 10ml, just to give it a wee bit of a sharpness. And there's a wee bit of Saint Germain, about 15ml of Saint Germain, the elderflower liqueur. So the lemon kind of goes against the Saint Germain a wee bit, just to keep it sort of balanced. It's not too sweet.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to make this kind of fizzy, if they want to make it a slightly longer drink, feel free to add in a bit of tonic, lemonade, soda, whatever you've got kind of left. But for me, it's actually very good.
Great. Yeah. Put a little bit of fresh mint in there as well. Feel free to give the mint a wee kind of slap as well. It's been sitting in an envelope for a few hours, so that should kind of freshen it up a little bit. But yeah, just a super kind of fresh drink. But this is actually the normal Rock Rose bottle. We used the Navy Strength one and for you guys. And then had one here.
What was the reason, Martin, for going down the Navy Strength route? Or we've not actually touched on it yet. Do you want to explain what Navy Strength is and how it's come about?
Yeah, we started the distillery. We got a lot of feedback from the bars. We wanted something to stand up in a Negroni and in other stronger cocktails. So I tasted the gin all the way down from 86% coming off the still right down to the bottom at 41.5. And it's fantastic when you go through those different ABVs, and at 57%, the Negroni really does stand up. You've got more ginger oils, obviously, from the higher concentration. But then it's starting to taste other things like cinnamon, you taste cassia, you've got really nice sweet ingredients as well, like bilberries and rowan berries, which stand out in the Navy Strength, but don't come through in the Rock Rose.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's amazing when you try. Obviously, Rock Rose is a product I've worked with in many different ways, in the sense of from sort of storehouse days to actually working directly with them. It's amazing the difference between Rock Rose Standard and Rock Rose Navy, and just even when you try them neat side by side, the different sort of notes that you get, like you say there.
Yeah, we normally stock you guys sort of editions as well. So I know you guys do like a spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and they're fantastic as well. We're big fans of Rock Rose here, and I think pretty much everyone in the Highlands is actually. You guys have done super well up here, and yeah, it's credit to you guys. What's the story with the ceramic bottle and the sort of waxing?
Yeah, so when we started out, we looked at how we'd get our product to stand out on the shelf. And also we wanted something that had that kind of handcrafted feel, but also a premium finish. So the guys at Pocket Rocket Creative in Stirling did such an amazing job with Claire to come up with the design. It's really tactile, it's hand waxed, as you say, it's hand numbered, and it shows that there's a team behind the bottle. So we do all the distilling and bottling in house. So you can see that from the bottle who's distilled that bottle, what batch it is. and almost like what vintage it is as well. So
Yeah.
we notice with the local ingredients they change depending on the weather of the season. So in the last 6 years, we've actually had the driest summer on record ever in the last 20 years, and then also the wettest as well. So it's amazing what you can find when you do the tastings of the beer. So that's why we added the vintage, just to be able to tell that story as well. It's linked to kind of crazy weather we get up here over in the summer,
And
like
have
you've seen
you,
tonight.
just personally, like, who's the distiller at MJM? Because that's my initials.
Never heard of him.
It's a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got quite a small team. We've got Hannah as our gardener. She does a lot of the research distilling. She's men with some flavour. And then we've got Kevin, who's our distiller, that helps me do the main production and also kind of develop other sort of flavour profiles. So yeah, the Navy Strength is what I'm drinking tonight. The kids have demolished the apple juice over the homeschooling, so I'm left to have a Negroni, which is actually perfect for the weather we've got tonight.
Great.
Yeah, I'm saying it's windy in Caithness tonight, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, it's not been much of a summer's day.
So
You mentioned Hannah there. Actually, I think Hannah will have probably created the next prize that we've got up for.
of course.
Up for grabs,
Yeah.
actually. So tonight we're giving away, very kindly donated by Martin and Claire, a bottle of it was the Garden edition, wasn't it? And I think the one you sent through was Turkish Delight.
Yeah, so Turkish Delight's a bit of fun actually. So we've got Rosa rugosa that's growing in her garden. So Hannah distilled this rose and she also macerated the rose, so it creates a really rosy gin. But it's only done in really small batches. So I think Turkish Delight was about 50 of the 200 ml bottles.
Okay. Okay. Oh, interesting.
So yeah, we'll maybe draw a number and then
So yeah, we're gonna. It's the last
last prize. So
last prize of the night, but
let's see. Last note. There we go. What have we got here? There we go. Number 19.
So 19 is getting a nice
There
wee
we
bottle
go.
of,
So let me write that down. But so Martin, I'm guessing the garden gin is. I've been lucky enough to come up and visit the distillery, and for those who haven't been up, it is a stunning part of the world. And when I was there, I actually met Hannah, and Hannah was great. I really liked Hannah.
You said Hannah was the highlight. Of
Hannah was the highlight, and don't take that the wrong way.
That's all right.
This isn't going anywhere. But Hannah was hilarious, and she was so funky. And is it a rotavat you guys have?
Yeah, so we've got a 3 litre rotavat and we just have fun with it the whole time.
Yeah, so basically, I think you could probably explain better than me what a rotavat is, but you can kind of take in any flavour and turn it into liquid. Is that kind of right?
Yes, what we're able to do with it is capture complex flavours that are volatile at low temperatures.
Right.
So if anything you can smell on a summer's day, we can capture that into liquid. It also does some really cool stuff where we can take the flavour of coffee without the bitterness, and we can take the flavour of cream without any of the dairy behind it. It's just cream in a glass.
So my favourite one that Hannah let us try was there was two actually. The first one was pickled onion gin, which tasted like Monster Munch, which was amazing. And then the second one, she knew her market because we took our team up there for, I think it was our Christmas night out actually, and you guys looked after us amazingly well. And she says, I don't know about the crowd, but have you guys ever licked a battery before? And all of us looked at each other and went, mm-hmm. And there was a gin called Electric Daisies, which I really remember. And you took a sip of this gin and your whole mouth started to tingle. So I don't know if that's legal. You're allowed to make it. I might be throwing you under a bus here, Martin. I'm not quite sure.
No,
but it was great.
It's something we get from our garden in really small quantities, and I wanted to scale it up, but buying bulk Electric Daisies just isn't practical.
Don't know. We could get we're all about crowdfunding here. We could get a crowdfunding Malt Room gin club and get some Electric Daisy gin on the go. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. Well, thanks very much for your time, Martin. I think that's been a really good insight into kind of Rock Rose, and as I say, I think we're big fans here. I think the guys back home look like they're enjoying the cocktail as well. So, thanks for taking the time to join us. I'll maybe.
Oh, thank you very much for having me on.
No problem at all.
No, thank you.
I'll maybe try and. I don't know if you can leave or I need to make you leave. I think I should stay off the tech. I think I'm not.
I'll
quite
leave.
sure.
I'll leave. I'll make
You'll
you leave.
leave, yeah.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Cheers.
Cheers. Take care. Cheers. Okay, so less tech things for me to do, probably the better. So I think that's pretty much the end, guys. We do have, there was a wee chocolate in there as well, so we just thought after 6 drinks, a wee sort of sugar rush would probably be quite good. So it's a little cappuccino square, coffee flavoured chocolate. We do like a whiskey and chocolate flight in the bar. There's a lady called Debbie who makes these chocolates from the Chocolate Place, it's called. Check her out, try the chocolates, they're really, really good. We've got some thank yous as well for the guys who have supported the event as well. So Lisa Boutique, so the first gin you guys had, the pineapple gin, and you guys have got those cool bags, badges, glassware. That all came from Lisa Boutique. So
big shout to Lisa.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. I think they look great, and really
her
good.
support was great.
Martin and Claire at Rock Rose, and Martin for coming on as well. Thanks very much for taking the time. I think we said about 8:45 we'd be on, so he was very patient, and then came on, and I couldn't even get him on. So thanks, Martin. And then we've got Steve and Ali at Kirkavar as well, who have sort of supported the Bela and Kirkavar parts of the night as well. Neil, who is tea in the gang, so you've got little tea bags in your bags. That was for the Tom Collins we did.
Yep.
Try
it as a tea as well.
Yeah.
And try it again with gin.
Yeah, I'm just saying and nodding my head like yeah.
No, thank you to tea in the gang. I was getting the same through product completely off their own back. You know, I mentioned that would maybe use their sort of blue tea in the to make a cocktail. So fair play to them. So that's really appreciated.
Jamie and Anne Marie as well at Red Shank. I think we chatted about them. They've put up that prize and put in the wee cards as well for us. So that's cool, and we're all about kind of supporting local businesses as well. And if you've not heard of them, check them out and give them some support, and you won't be disappointed. That's for sure. And then we've got Samantha Niche Alcohol Supplies as well. So actually, you were dealing with Samantha. So
just some support on the Knut Hansen, some of the
nice
postcards and things, and
great,
so all good.
And of course, thanks to you guys as well. So we talk about it a little bit in the whiskey nights that everyone kind of knows bars are kind of closed to us now. The hospitality industry, gin industry, we're kind of twiddling our thumbs to a certain extent. I'm not quite sure when we're going to get back. So doing events like this hopefully brings some fun to you guys, takes you away from the news, which is kind of on everyone's TVs all the time, and kind of lets you kind of feel like you're maybe having a night out whilst being at home. We just try and bring a smile on people's faces, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the gin. I know I certainly have. I'm rambling on, so I definitely have. And then our next event. So the next event through us at the Malt Room, we have a whiskey and donuts this Wednesday, which is sold out. And then after that event, we are doing a Father's Day special. So we are going to be releasing quite a lot of tickets for that one. We're also going to post around the UK for that one. So we've had a lot of people asking us about whiskey and donuts, and we've been supplying the local area, which is great. But for this one, we did a posting experiment, and it worked. So we will be able to post whiskey and donuts to maybe if your your dad, not mum or dad. It's Father's Day, isn't it? If your dad lives somewhere else and you want to do that, we can tune in virtually like this. So tickets for that event will go on sale this Wednesday coming. Once we finish the event, the tickets will go live. So get those if you want to get them posted out. We can do that, or if you want them locally, we can do that as well. So we really enjoyed doing them as well. Whiskey is obviously my kind of area of kind of expertise, if you want to call it that, whereas Neil's gin. So I've really enjoyed tonight. So also a massive thank you to yourself
real pleasure
for coming in, and it's been enjoyable for me. I've been sitting here just getting a bit drunk, to be honest. Been good fun.
No, it's good to talk gin again. I mean, it's a hard time for our industry just now. So to be doing something positive is really good.
Great. Yeah.
So
and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So it looks like you guys did. So Great. Okay, I think we'll just sign off there and call it a night. And you guys enjoy the rest of your gins. The guys who won the prizes, get in touch with us. As I say, keep an eye out next Wednesday, Whiskey and Donuts. Once that's done, we will be selling tickets for the next one. And yeah, enjoy your kind of packs we put together. There's also, oh, hang on, before we go, there is one more. We put this in and it was just a little gift from us.
Yeah.
So if you want to carry on the party, boutique again. So the guys who did the pineapple gin have sort of canned cocktails. So you probably know more about these.
Yes, I mean strawberry gin fizz. To be fair, so strawberry gin fizz is the one ready to drink sort of item that I've not actually tried from boutique gin. I'm going to put my trust in it that it will be good because everything else I've tried from has been really good. So have a bit of fun. Just it's a nice wee.
One way to do it, Niels. We'll
That's
find
my
out. Right beside the microphone. This is going to sound great. Oh. That's our night. Okay, I think we'll sign out on that one.
Thank you very much, folks.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Bye bye.